Welcome in, everybody, to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. An excellent show ahead, folks, as we welcome back an old friend with an amazing book that I got the privilege to read over the weekend. Ande Pliego is back with us today, folks. And the book is called The Library After Dark, a novel. And Andy's holding it up if you're watching the video over there. It is a wonderful book. Let me tell you a little bit about Ande. I can't imagine you don't remember her from the last time in her last amazing book, but let's tell you a little bit about her as we bring her in. Ande Pliego began writing stories when she discovered she could actually wield her overactive imagination for good. A lover of stories with teeth, she writes books involving mind games, dark humor, general murder and mayhem, and most importantly, finding the hope in the dark. When not reading or writing, she can usually be found dabbling in art, scheming up her next trip, or making constant expeditions to the library. That's the important part, right? Born in Florida, raised in France, and having left footprints all over the globe, she has settled in the Pacific Northwest, USA, with her little son. Ande Pliego is the best-selling author of You Are Fatally Invited, which, by the way, if you haven't picked up that book yet, go pick it up. It is amazing. It is amazing. I was riveted to that book, and I was riveted to the book we're talking about today, which is The Library After Dark. We're talking about that with our guest today. Let's welcome her back, Ande Pliego. Hi, Ande.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. I loved chatting last time and have been really excited to chat this time too.
Well, I'm excited to have you back, and I'm excited to talk about this book, The Library After Dark. And once again, my friend, you have done it again. This book is so good, and I tell you, the depths of your imagination are astounding. You know, I think I have you figured out, and I think, I know where this is going. I really do know where this is going. You take and you turn left on me and I go, I thought I knew. And I really did think I knew throughout this entire thing where it was going. And I had no idea by the end of this. I really didn't.
Excellent. That is wonderful to hear. I worked very hard to try to make it happen that way.
And what I think my viewers and listeners will love about this book is you've got the supernatural, the paranormal tinged in with murder and crime, and it's smart. This book is so smart. And it's, although it doesn't go over anybody's head, but it doesn't insult anybody's intelligence either. It's just brilliant. It's the perfect summer read. So, and I can perfectly see it perfect on the screen. That's the thing about your books that I absolutely love.
Thank you so much. Yes, I work really hard to make sure each book I write is I want it to feel very cinematic and immersive. So all of those things are, yes, success. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I found interesting as you're putting the book out there and you're getting into the book is, as I understood it from reading the book, you went to Scotland to formulate this book, right?
Yes. So I ended up, I was on a writer's retreat in Scotland. This would have been a couple years now when I was working on, I think, draft or version 2 of the book. And it was a writer's retreat in a castle in Scotland, a historical castle. And there were some very bizarre things that happened there. And since I was writing about, ghosts and haunted places, a haunted place, I was able to talk to some of the staff and ask what have you seen around here? What's been kind of weird? Are there any stories or, lore that the castle has? And it was a very, very interesting week at the castle for sure.
Really? Okay. So you got to spill. What happened to you in particular? Anything while you were there at the retreat?
Yeah. So some of the weird things, there were multiple bizarre things, but one of the things that I remember really distinctly is that my roommate and I's shower would turn on at 2 a.m. and it would just turn on like pretty full water, and then it would turn off a few minutes later. And really? At first, I kind of went over there and looked at it and was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened 2 or 3 times, I think, at nights. And, by the end of it, it was just oh, that's just the ghost taking a shower. I don't know. So that was kind of a funny one. And then I spoke with a lady who had been there, who had worked at the castle for, I'm trying to say maybe 10 years or more than that. I don't know. It was a nice long time. And I asked her, what have you seen? And one of the things that she said was, coincidentally on the couch that I kind of like took over. Like it was like my spot for the week. She was like, this couch, the last thing I do every night before I go to bed, and she's like one of the last people to go to bed. She's like, every night I like fluff it and like, you know, get it ready for the next morning. And I come up in the morning and no one's around and I check it and there is like an indent where someone sat. And she was like, that's like every single day without fail. And so there was somebody who had some unfinished thinking moments to sit on that couch, apparently, but it wasn't me. So
somebody or something, was there ever any mention that maybe there were some animals at that castle that might have plopped up on that couch?
Ooh, no, there was no animals. They had a dog, but not in the main house. So like, yeah, no, there was nothing. And I mean, for that trip, I wanted to keep an eye out for it, but I was usually the one haunting the couch at 2 a.m. So I think that probably would have been why the shower turned on. It was like angry that I stole its spot. No, I don't know, but it was very interesting. We found there was I wasn't there, but there was a dead animal that we found in a bizarre place.
Really?
Yes. So that was interesting. Yeah, but no, lots of people from the retreat experienced some bizarre things, and we were all comparing notes about it. So
this kind of harkens back to your first book. Did you get kind of vibes from the first one while you were there?
The awkward thing is that there were a ridiculous amount of parallels to the first book, which had been about to come out. So it's a writer's retreat in an isolated location, right? During the last week of October, which is the same as my book.
Yep.
And also the host of the retreat, the person who owned it, both in my book and in real life, was named Alistair.
Oh, no.
Yes. And so when he said that, I was just like, oh, that's very strange. And so, yeah, that was very strange. And then, of course, like the dead animals and what else was it? There were a couple of other things, a couple of other parallels that whenever something would happen, a few of my friends who had read the book, they would kind of like all slowly turn and look at me. And I was like, don't look at me. Like, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything. But yeah, it was a good time. It was very helpful for writing the book for sure.
So do you take any of this? I know I'm getting a little woo-woo here, Andy, on you, but do you take any of this as a good omen? Like maybe it's a message to you, like you're on the right track here?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm kind of like, yeah, coexist with it all. Like I don't really like see it as who was it? It was someone who was talking to me on the retreat who was like, you're very calm about, about this, about, your shower turning on. And I'm just kind of like, oh, like, it's just, like it's, as long as, candlesticks don't go flying at my head, like, oh, sure. Yeah. Like, it's fine. So, yeah. So I think it's very entertaining and fascinating to kind of like note the things that we can't explain really. So, yeah.
Because I kind of see those things, like the organizer of the trip with the same name and the dead animal parallel, things like that. I kind of see those lining up, that little bit of kismet is, what? Yeah. The universe telling you like, you're on the right track here, kid. You're taking off, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it's really interesting. I've always felt this way with my books. And again, might be like a little bit woo-woo, or like, I don't really know what I think about this, but I have noticed that quite a few times when I write something extremely similar happens in real life, later that mirrors it. And it's happened a few times where it's legitimately like scared me a little bit, where I'm like, how did I don't understand, like, how did this follow this accurately? And it's not something that I controlled. Just life circumstances have really strange parallels. And actually in my book, The Library After Dark, I wrote that into one of the characters who she's a middle grade fantasy author. And we see her point of view throughout some of the book. And she has this idea of like, I don't know if we should call it like manifesting, but like she sees those parallels in life, and she sees it as like, this is the magic of story, where it can kind of like cause some things to happen in real life. And so she's kind of always looking out for those threads that she can't explain. And so that was a little bit for me. So I can definitely, I've definitely wondered about that for a long time. So yeah.
I never thought I'd be having this conversation with you, but I'm going to get into it right now. You know, I had a talk with Steve Vai, and I talked about, and I don't know if you know who Steve Vai is, rock guitarist, David Lee Roth, and Frank Zappa. But we had talked on one show about being able to take and tap into a creative consciousness, right? A creative collective consciousness. Yeah. And he truly believes when he's creating, when he's writing music, that he's tapping in sometimes to a creative consciousness and pulling things down. Sometimes he's pulling from his own creativity. Other times he's tapping into a creative consciousness of sorts. I'm wondering, at times when you're writing, are you psychically tapping into your own future? Do you?
That would be wild if it was the case, in which case I need to write happier books. But books with less murder. You know, I really don't know, but I've seen enough weird things like that, enough parallels both in my life and also in other storytellers. And I think we can kind of all see this in various points where someone, an author, or even like a screenwriter, you know, someone who's coming up with a story, they write something and then something eerily similar happens, you know, before too long. And there are moments like that I can't explain. And I don't know, you know, I don't really know what it means, but like, I can't deny that it's there, and it's very fascinating and a little bit scary.
Or maybe not even your future, but other people's futures. Maybe you're tapping into people, not even necessarily around you, but people you'll run into in the future.
That would be very, very interesting indeed. If anyone encounters something that happens to do with my book in the future, where you're like, oh, this felt like she wrote something here, please let me know, because that would be fascinating to hear.
I mean, in this case, right, you'd gone on that trip. You had already foretold it, a lot of that, right, in that book. Who's to say that a lot of what's in the library after dark isn't something that was a plot device or something that happened somewhere down the road?
In which case, I'm so sorry for whoever has to experience anything related to that. See, that's the fear about my genre, is that it's like, ooh, I hope I'm not predicting anything, and I hope that this doesn't come back around. But we are.
I would hope so too. I mean, there's some pretty grim stuff here, but you know, I mean, but wouldn't that be something, right?
It would be something. It would absolutely be something. So yes, I mean, reality is stranger than fiction. You can't you can make some of this up, but like reality, you can't make reality up. That's even weirder.
That's right. And there is some stuff here when I mean, individually, no spoilers or anything, but there is some stuff as I read it, I went, oh, that's original. Right? I mean, especially some of the deaths, I went, oh my gosh, that I've never seen that on screen, but I see it appear, right? I see it in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's deliciously wicked. But then I thought, but then you would almost have to experience it or have had experience with it in order to be there, right? Or have seen it.
Yeah, I can thankfully say that I have not witnessed these deaths in person. But I do write I put a lot of emphasis on really putting myself in the characters and like really like seeing like, what am I experiencing? What am I feeling? Like, even like physically, like what is around me? What would I be? What's the environment I would be in, and, you know, all the feelings and things that I would be experiencing. And I put a lot of work into that, and in trying to make everything, especially the deaths, as accurate as I can to what would happen. So I have many books. I'm sitting here looking at some that are like blood on the page and forensics and fiction, and like these books by doctors and who are also authors. who write about, like wounds and those kinds of things. And my search history is a true terror in and of itself, because I'm constantly trying to I want readers to feel like it's real.
Oh, it definitely is. You have a very empathic way of writing. I can tell people this much without, again, being spoiler free here, Andy. There's a scene at the end of the book where you manage to slip into 3 different characters in a scene where someone's being killed and be able to emote from all 3 people and all 3 sides. And one is very cold and uncaring. One is witnessing the other 2 and is in shock and awe. And the other one is completely psychotic and trying to figure out a way out, right?
Yeah.
But in all 3, there's 3 different sets of emotions. And you have to be able to stretch and be able to sell, using a wrestling term, you have to be able to sell each set and do it convincingly and be able to put dialogue behind all 3 and be able to get some sort of emotion out of the reader, right? And be able to kind of bind that part of the book up, because that's the grand finale, right? You don't sell that, then you kind of plots the ending.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And it's incredibly powerful. You're like, whoa, right? Yeah. And you pull it off, man. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Thank you. Those chapters, because they're short chapters that kind of flip between the points of view as these characters are learning about each other and learning this situation. A bunch of reveals come in, and man, I must have rewritten that. I don't know. I don't even know how many times, but over and over, swapping the points of view out, switching, who's saying what and who's realizing what, and then, oh no, that person actually doesn't realize that at that point. I have to go and change that point of view. And it was such a spaghetti bowl of reveals and points of view, and I just had to keep rearranging it until finally I figured out, okay, I think this is the best one. I think this works as is, and had people read it and say, okay, I think that works pretty well. And so anyways, I'm glad to hear that it works this way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty amazing. Let's tell people a little bit about it before we get to break, and then we'll really dive into the book, The Library After Dark here, which is absolutely amazing. Let's start with Aria Stokes, who's kind of the main character of our book here, and talk a little bit about her and her complicated existence. When we first meet Aria, who is she and what is she and where is she?
Yeah, so the book takes place in New York City, and Aria Stokes is our bookseller who's studying to get her her degree in library information, to be a librarian. And so she's very bookish. She loves all things dark and macabre. She has a bit of a chip on her shoulder, and she is going on a Valentine's Day date with her somewhat new boyfriend, Jasper, who seems to know her so well. And he's he's everything that she could have dreamed of. And he takes her on this surprise date, and they're, dinner and whatnot, lots of things. And then he surprises her with special tickets to an exclusive After Dark tour to this supposedly haunted library, which would be right up her alley. In fact, it's a little too much up her alley, because as we find out at the end of the first chapter, she's been there before, and last time she was there, she left behind a dead body. And so she doesn't want to go back to this library, and it holds her darkest secrets, and yet she feels like she doesn't really have a choice if she wants to make this relationship work. So that's a little bit about her in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a huge splash as it is, right? Yeah. Yeah. And definitely, don't want to disappoint on Valentine's Day, but she's got to try and figure out how she's going to weasel her way out of the library without disappointing him, which, I mean, that's more than enough right there. So I tell you what, with setting that up there, let's take our break. When we come back, we'll tell you a little bit more about the other players here, which, again, they end up what they think is going to be just this exclusive tour, just Jasper and Aria, right? But they get a little surprise when they walk in. We'll tell you about that little surprise when we come back. Ande Pliego is our guest. The book is The Library After Dark, which is an amazing book, folks. We have a link in the description of this program, so click on it during the break. Go get the book. Again, folks, absolutely amazing book. I had a wonderful time sitting with this book and getting to know the characters and the twists and turns, and again, some of the innovative ways that people go during this. You're in shock and awe during the entire book. I don't think there's a comfortable moment in this book. There's no room to breathe during this book, that's for sure. When we come back, more about The Library After Dark. You're watching and listening the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Before we get back to our program, let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Jelly Bean and Julia's, and their specials. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, of course, happy hour. $3 off of tacos, nachos, quesadilla. Boneless wing baskets are half off, by the way, and also half off of domestic taps, bottles, single pour well drinks, and more. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. And, of course, on Friday, the smoked prime rib dinner, one of the top 5 dinners you'll ever have in your life. I'm telling you, folks, the 14 and 16 ounce smoked prime rib dinner that comes with the tequila berry salad, that sweet and tangy dressing with the bacon bits, the croutons, everything, that dressing that you remember from when you were a kid. That salad is back. And the Boston baked potato comes with it, the Texas toast, and more. I'm telling you, folks, I try to make it a habit every Friday. My cardiologist isn't in agreement with me, but I try to make it a habit to go to that Friday night dinner. It's served at 4:30 until it's gone. It's pretty much gone pretty quickly, so you want to get there as early as you can. Sundays, of course, breakfast on Sundays only, so make sure you get out there. Jelly Bean and Julia's, I guarantee you, Corey and Coley make you feel like you're at home. It's going to become your permanent spot once you try it. jellybeanandjulias.com. The link is in the description of the program. All right, let's get back to our program. Ande Pliego is our guest. The book is The Library After Dark. She's got a copy of it right there, and she's holding it up. Wonderful book, folks. And twists and turns galore. I can almost guarantee you don't know who the killer is. I can almost guarantee you.
I'm so glad, because that was very much, that's always top of my mind, is how many rabbit trails can I lead the reader down before I reveal the killer? So yeah, very much my hope.
It's tough, folks. I'll tell you, it's tough. I don't think you can guess. I don't think you can guess it. I really don't. Before the break, Ande, we were talking about Aria and Jasper, and they're about to. Now, correct me on the pronunciation of the library. Is it
Daedalus?
Daedalus, yes, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so they're headed off to the Daedalus Library. They get there. And they think it's a private tour, right? Jasper thinks he's set up a private tour. All of a sudden, a couple walks up behind them. They're like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. This isn't as private as we thought.
Yes, it ends up being quite a party. And yeah, so Aria, who has thought, okay, I can just go and get it over with. I won't see anyone. It's going to be a private tour. We're just going to have a great time. All those dreams are promptly shattered when about 5 or 6 other people walk through the doors, and they're all excited and happy for the tour and crashing their Valentine's Day date.
Yeah, and you get is it a consortium? Is that a good way of putting it? Well, you get a smattering of people that come in, and yes. It's not a huge group, but you get a few people that walk in that seem to have a loose association with the owner of the Daedalus, right?
Yes.
Evangeline.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all there for one reason or another. Now, Evangeline has kind of an odd history. Can you tell us about her history?
Yes. So the owner of the Daedalus Library, which the library is called it's nicknamed the Library of Death, because the eccentric owner was quite obsessed with death and made it her life's work to collect all of the most macabre, bizarre artifacts and books that she could find. So there are books whose covers are made with an arsenic dye that can melt the skin off your fingertips, which true thing. there is a guillotine that happens to be in the library as well, an original guillotine. I think it's mentioned there's a rack, there's death masks from the Victorian era. There are books bound with human skin. Like, there are all these very bizarre things that she's brought together in this library. Bones, lots of bones too. And yeah, so it's a very spooky, creepy place that is said to be haunted because of also the bizarre number of accidental deaths that have happened on the grounds. So that's kind of where the library came from. But at the beginning of the book, Evangeline has died a few months earlier, and the library is kind of going through the transitional process of being passed into new hands. And so, yeah, in a library where there are quite a few rumors of ghosts and hauntings, part of what the tour has to figure out is Evangeline still here? So,
so she may still be there, either in ghostly form or other.
Maybe, yeah. That's part of what was really fun to watch the characters wrestle with and argue about, is whether or not Evangeline is causing things to happen around them that are very bizarre.
Interesting. All right. There's a few characters that show up to this event. There's Ruth, I believe, and can you tell us a little bit about Ruth?
Yes. So Ruth is the first other point of view that we receive. So we get Aria and then we get Ruth, and she is a retired nurse. She's the oldest of the group, and she's kind of a bit different from some of the other characters in that she's lived her long life. She was a nurse. She spent her life giving to people and specifically helping people throughout hospice. And she received an invitation to the library, which or to this tour, because she wouldn't have been able to get it, to afford it otherwise. It's very exclusive. But she is there not just for the tour. She is coming with a bit of an agenda and with something that she feels like she really needs to do at this library. And so for her chapters, we see a lot of her watching the other characters and trying to see how much she can get away with remaining in the background and being unnoticed.
Okay. Interesting. There's a character by the name of Saskia, and she does what?
Saskia is the librarian of the Daedalus. She's really fun to write. You know, your customer service presenting librarian who's trying to help these characters have a good time on this tour. Meanwhile, the elevator breaks while they're inside it, and various other bizarre things happen. And poor Saskia is over there trying to keep her customer service, everything's fine, we're going to figure everything out, face on as they're going through these increasingly scary events, including being trapped inside. So she was a character that I'll just say she surprised me a lot in the end of the book, and how she connected to everything. And that's not a spoiler because everybody connects to a lot of things, but
everybody.
Hers I didn't see coming, which was fun.
You're going to have to help me out with some of the other characters as well, because names get jumbled in my head. Is it Callum?
Callum, yes.
Right.
Callum, he is a professor at University of Edinburgh and an expert in rare manuscripts and rare books. And he has been trying to get a look at this certain book in the Daedalus Library for years. And it's a rare book of cursed fairy tales that were said to be the precursor to Brothers Grimm, Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, all those tales. And it's the only copy in existence. And he's been dying to get a look at it and has not been able to for many years. So
and now's his opportunity.
Now's his chance. Yes.
So he's trying to get a look at it. And then there's Michelle, who's there as well.
Yes. There's Michelle, who she is an award-winning middle grade fantasy horror author who, when she started her career, she actually was one of the first writers in residence at the Daedalus. And while she was there, she had an experience with a ghost that pretty much changed her life and kind of set her on a trajectory with her novels and her thinking about the world. And it also started a lot of the lore around the library hauntings. And so she was a pivotal character from the beginning. The beginning of the library's rumored hauntings, we'll say.
And then there's Wes as well. I remember Wes.
Yes. Wes, the perky prep school teacher, he's kind of the heart of the group, the cheerful one, always optimistic, bit of the comic relief in some of these moments. But yeah, he also, like the others, has a bit of something he's hiding as well. So
yeah. And I believe the thing that kicks everything off, isn't it something having to do with an elevator malfunction? Isn't it the first thing that gets everybody?
Yes, it's one of those. These things were so much fun to research, but they're one of the oldest kinds of elevators in the States was kind of this birdcage looking thing. And, like the brass bars and the accordion door, very old. It's got like the big wheels and, like it moves super slowly. And so they get into this elevator and they're going to go up to see the fairy tales and folklore room to see this cursed rare book of fairy tales. And the elevator breaks and they drop just a little bit, but enough for, panic to set in. Mm-hmm. And that was the main way up. The library has doors that seal electronically at various times. And so suddenly they can't go and see this manuscript like they wanted to. So for Aria, that's a big relief because then maybe the tour will be over. But no, Saskia, the librarian, says, you all have paid for this tour. We're going to take a tour. And she leads them all throughout these macabre spaces, we'll say.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in here, there's a reveal that there are hidden tunnels within the library. That's about as far as I'll go with it, but that leads to some speculation on a lot of people's part, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And I can actually talk a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
This was all based in reality, which is so cool.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
Pretty much any weird facts that you read in the book about books or libraries or names that are mentioned or whatnot, I tried so hard to make all of that actually rooted in reality. So all of those things are true, which is really cool. And so, so if you're reading something and you're like, that's very bizarre, it's probably a true fact that I found somewhere because I couldn't make this stuff up.
Okay.
But yeah, so the library tunnels, so libraries, specifically like huge ones, I really studied how they deliver books throughout the library because they have to, send them from, the stacks to various places, especially huge libraries. And so the book delivery system, in some places they're more like tunnels, in some places they're like really small, like ducts or that kind of thing. And, there's these sort of electronic or mechanical or some sort like baskets or boxes that like ferry the book one place to another. And so when these characters get trapped inside the library, they, various doors are opening and closing and they can't figure out where they're supposed to go. So they start looking for, well, how do we get out? How do we move forward? And they start looking with the librarian's help for these book delivery systems, which open, these small doors and tunnels that they have to kind of go through and stairwells and whatnot. But some of this was based off of, the New York Public Library and how they have stacks, floors of stacks underground and, book delivery system, how they ferry books everywhere throughout the building. So, so that's kind of the long answer to that, but it was very fun to come up with.
That's really cool. I mean, to think that, that there's these tunnels that you don't get access to, but that they have these accesses to. That,
in big libraries, there's an army of librarians and archivists and manuscript conservators there's an army of people that people in the library don't see, but they're all moving around, and they all have to be able to get one place from point A to point B in a fast way, and sometimes without being in front of everybody. So yeah, it's a thing.
That's a thing. So without giving spoilers, the way this whole thing kicks off is someone has to slip away in order to do something devious. That person meets their demise.
Yes.
And things are locked down because of it. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So that's how everyone gets trapped within the Daedalus.
Mm-hmm. And the fun part of that is that no one can explain this death. It's a very haunting death that happens in front of them all while they're all sitting there watching it. And yeah, no one can explain it except some of the characters say, well, it must be the unexplainable. It must be the paranormal activity here who's very upset at them. So that was a very fun way to kick off the, oh no, now we're in big trouble moment.
What's crazy about some of the devices you have in this book, Andy, is that, I mean, they could be passive or active, right? I mean, the guillotine, for example, right? I mean, it could either be a hair trigger, it could be really old, or it could just fire off on its own and take a head off. It's just a matter of, are you looking under the blade to see what's going on and it went off on its own? Or did somebody, hit the trigger to cut somebody's head off, right? Somebody forced somebody's head in there. There's a few different, a poison book, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, things that could be, again, active or passive. Mm-hmm. That could cause a death. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of different devices in here that you could misconstrue as, was someone actually behind this? Or was this just a mishap or a slip?
Exactly. And throughout most of the book, we see the characters arguing about this very vehemently. Some of them are like, oh, this is just, this is what happens when you have a library full of crazy stuff, and things just happen. And then there's other people who are saying like, no, this is like, someone is doing this. One of us is killing us off. We have to figure out who it is. And then there's the other person who says, you know what, this is just the ghosts. Like we've trespassed on their land or on their turf, and they're upset about something. Maybe one of us did something or whatnot, but yeah, this is just theirs. And so you have all these characters fighting, trying to prove their points, and also trying to keep an eye out, for falling guillotines and various things, but they're never looking quite in the right direction. So
there's an interesting passage in the book that I wanted to ask you about, which was kind of interesting. At one point, I know Evangeline had gifted somebody something, again, being extremely rich, had gifted somebody something from the Mutter Museum. And I'm curious, have you ever been to the Mutter Museum? Is that?
I have not, alas, but,
okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Hi, because I'm on an interview. No, I want you to go upstairs and I'll be there in a few minutes. Okay. Can you close the door? Thank you so much. Oh, careful, buddy. Thank you. Thanks.
That's okay. He's too cute.
There's my little ghost. No. But so I've never been there, but that was one of the places that I believe that one has one of the largest collections of, I don't want to give away what it is.
Right. You don't have to. Right.
Something very disturbing. And it's a true thing. And that, again, like names like that I drop of like libraries or museums or places like that, those are real. Those are actual places. So that's one of them. One day, hopefully I'll get to go. But
interesting. It just so happens to be I've been, because we used to run ghost hunting trips to Eastern State Penitentiary, which again is in Philadelphia. So it was one of those side trips that when we had extra time, we would be able to go over to Mutter and be able to take the tour. So it was one of those side deals.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So that's exactly what I desperately hope readers especially readers who are interested in this kind of thing, like I'm hoping that they'll be able to pick up on these little details and be like, oh yeah, like I've been there or I've heard of this or whatnot. So that's very delightful to hear.
Yeah. So, again, there's little Easter eggs here, folks, in this book that you'll read or be able to appreciate, or there's little things that Ande throws in here that, again, much like the first book that you read and you go, I know that, or, you grab onto and it puts a little light bulb above your head and again, sucks you in even harder. And again, you'll never be able to guess who it is at the end because you're led down a rabbit trail and you just have no idea. Ande, again, I want to thank you so much for being with us. The book is The Library After Dark, a novel. Do you have anything you want to throw in here before we leave today?
Oh, let's see. If anyone figures it out, I would love to know. I would love for them to let me know if anyone reads it and figures out who the killer is.
Okay, so you're going to have a bunch of people who claim they knew, but they didn't. You know that.
Fair,
right?
But I'd love to know the moment you thought you figured it out.
Okay, well, again, you got a bunch of people out there who think they're smarter than they are. I'm completely honest in that I tell you, and I'm being completely honest. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yes.
And I don't say that to blow sunshine at you or anything like that.
Sure.
I'm being completely honest. I had no idea. I thought I knew. I thought I knew, but no, I didn't.
Excellent.
I'll tell you off air who I thought it was, but
okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Sounds good. That's fun to hear. But yeah, it's a book that I hope people will want to kind of play detective with and pay attention to the small details. And come when you read it, you'll learn a lot of very bizarre bookish lore and hear some very bizarre paranormal things that have happened. That's
what I love about it. I love that you have one foot in each genre, that you have one there in crime, you have one in the murder genre, one in the paranormal, and I love that about your books, that they're deliciously dark in that. So
thank you
again. Best of success to you, my friend. It's such a good book, and I think people are going to absolutely love it. I think you've hit another home run here. So
thank you so much.
The Library After Dark is available right now. We have a link in the description of this program, folks. I encourage you to go get this book. It's going to be wonderful summer reading for you. I'm going to read it a second time, and I'll be sitting out there on the porch with the chipmunks and enjoying it again this summer. So Ande, I want to thank you so much for being with us.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. This has been lovely.
Thank you. Folks, it's time now for us to switch gears. It's time now for us to join Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's Crayon News story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer? I heard he cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again. Time you've all been looking forward to. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals. And with that, I bring in my co-hostess. I reach across town and I as I celebrate not only a Wild victory, a Timberwolves victory. By the way, it was Elimination Day here last week. So, and I'm not talking about finally I was able to pass after years and years of morphine. I was able to have a bowel movement. I'm not talking about that kind of Elimination Day. I'm talking about we got all the D out of town. That's right. The big dicks, Dallas, Denver, and all that other D we got out of town. Not Big D, of course. He moved to Nashville, my buddy, Wayne D. We miss him. Anyways, but we got all the D out of town. There's a theme to that, by the way, and I'll touch on that theme in a second. I know I'm talking in circles. I'm all excited. I'm having a great and I'm having a great week. The Wild have started up their second series. The Timberwolves have started up their second series. I know by the time we've recorded this, they've already played games, so I can't forecast. I'll already say they've already won games. Look at me, co-host. Look at me. I'm already forecasting wins here because I'm on an all-time high here. Boy, do we have a week ahead of us here. We've had Ande Pliego on the show. Big time, gorgeous author, brainy and whatnot. We have a big time, gorgeous, brainy co-host on today. Boy, have I got a surprise for you guys tomorrow. We've got a big time surprise for you on Thursday. You people should be paying for this show. That's all I'm saying. You people should be paying for this show. Wow. I've outdone myself. Anyways, so that's what Bender said to me. That's where I'm going with this intro. Bender said to me, sir, he said, sir, I don't know why I'm talking like the president now, but I am. But he said to me, sir, my back is broken from all these charts that I need to make. Week after week after week, she keeps destroying the Hindustan Times. And we thought about folding, but we got bailout money from your country, which was weird. I mean, why we're getting all this bailout money from your country to make these charts? But we need to, I've dedicated my life to her service. I did this, a couple weeks ago. And I said, yes, Bender, I realize this. And he said, but now I've decided to make a shrine. And he did. He made the most beautiful shrine. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Jess. Mm-hmm. But he made this beautiful golden statue to you. And in it, you're holding up many, many golden tomes. And I think he said this was just next year's release alone. Yeah, I don't have my rim shot up. I'm sorry. But there were 47 books in your hand, and it was like next year's release is what it says at the bottom of the next year's release is what it says. And he said, boy, sir, he said, I just can't wait. I can't wait to kill all those trees next year to make all those charts.
Oh,
and I said,
that makes me feel bad.
I said, oh, Bender. I said, she'll be so happy to know that. And he said, you know what, sir? He said at the top of every chart, it'll say Jessica Freeberg, Hindustan Times #1 bestseller.
It's good to be a bestseller somewhere.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is. Eater of world, destroyer of charts. In Bender's God, Jessica Freeberg.
Goddess.
A goddess. Well, hey, either way, I don't discriminate.
Unless he made me like a statue of David and I have a wee Willy Wonka hanging off me.
Hey,
be a god then, I guess.
Maybe you're packing, kid. I have no idea. If you're like that Italian statue that they were climbing last week, which by the way made news all over the world.
I know. Yeah. Crazy.
It even made Saturday Night Live. It made Weekend Update this week. So yeah.
Hilarious.
Must have been important. So.
That's one way to get your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Boy, what's in the water over here at this show?
I don't know, Tim, but keep drinking it. You got yourself a hottie sandwich this week.
I don't know what to call this show. Goo for goth girls? Hellbent for hotties?
I have to admit, I felt I kind of melted a little inside of myself when you told me about all the hotness in front and behind me. And then I'm like, oh, and I'm in my pajama bottoms and just threw a Bigfoot hat on.
No, hey, I kind of like I like what you're working with today, kid. You got it going on. Yeah. No. Here's the thing. I don't think people realize how blessed I am here. I make about $1.295 doing this show. Not even. But I'm surrounded by beauty all the time. I'm kind of like Charlie from Charlie's Angels. I really should not even show you my face because I am the wart on the ass of a hog, pretty much when it comes to
Tim. The girls need the eye candy too, and you bring it.
Please. But there's a reason I have a face for radio. There's a reason I've been in radio for 35 years. Okay, this face was never meant to be put on video. But I've been blessed. I've been blessed, right? And then somehow, I don't know if it was the contract I signed with the devil in my sleep. I don't know what happened this past week. But so then let me, if you indulge me before we start Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals here, I want to outline how this week started, right? So, like somewhere in December or January, I got contacted by Sarah, who's Ande Pliego's manager. I have a good relationship, or a pretty good relationship, I think, with Ande Pliego, right? And Andy's agent got a hold of me and said, Andy wants to get you her new book. And this was like December or January. I said, great. I'm looking forward to it. Her first book was phenomenal. So I got a hold of her second book. I couldn't help it. I cracked it. I started reading it. Right?
That's good.
It's amazing. The Library After Dark, which is a new book. It's wonderful. It's amazing. So I had her booked months ago for this week. Months ago. Right? And then of course we're blessed with your presence. Which
Thank you.
Again, I bow in your general direction. And then Mally got a hold of me, and for those of you who I mean, you don't really need to know. She's got stuff going on in her life, and so she can't necessarily make it for Supernatural News this week. That's fine. I don't behold anybody to any ironclad contracts. Nobody gets whipped or beaten if they can't make the show. It's okay. We can all take a breath and relax, right? We all have life. Life happens. That's all right. We love Mally. She'll be back. Hopefully.
She will be. Mally, come back.
Right. Mal, come back. Mally, come back. So I was going to, Mally let me know early, very early actually, that she had some commitments she had to honor. No big deal. Okay. Just as God is my witness, as Mally let me know very, very early that, hey, you know what? Something came up. Can't be there this week. No problem, darling. I will get a hold of Travis. Right? I think everybody loves my little chaos monkey. I'm not sure, which is what he is.
We love him. Yes,
He's my little chaos monkey. Sometimes he makes me a little nervous. To the point where I maybe develop a little IBS. I'm not sure. But I'm like, all right, I'll give Travis a call, or I'll get a hold of him, see if he can fill in. I'm just about to text him. And up on my phone pops our guest for tomorrow. And I went, are you kidding me? Oh, Jess. I am bookended by greatness this week.
Swimming in it.
With an amazing middle. My God.
Lucky guy. And you know what? We're lucky, Tim. You're kind of fun to hang around.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
You make me laugh every week. Make me smile till my cheeks hurt.
Aw. Well, I appreciate it. Should we wait until the end of the program to tease people with who it is?
Yeah, do that. Let them think about it. Let them stew.
Can I give them just a little tease? Just a little.
Sure.
We'll just say this person is hell bent to be on the show. How's that? All right, with that, let's jump into Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals today. All right. With that, we'll jump into it.
Let's go.
This first story was sent to me by one of our listeners. If you have a story for us, tim@darknessradio.com. By the way, I did send a communique into the past, Jess, to little 13-year-old Timmy. I sent him
What's he up to?
I sent him a book. I wrote a little book for him over the weekend. It's called It Gets Better. Basically, it's a book to little 13-year-old Timmy. It says, listen, you little nerd. Sure, you're striking out with every girl you ever talk to. They won't look your way, but it's okay. All you have to do is struggle. You just have to struggle for about 35, 40 years, not get any attention from any women, go into radio, sit in a dark room somewhere talking to a microphone, still not get any attention from any women, develop a show, right? Eventually get to host the thing, and then be surrounded by women that'll never touch you. That's all. Then you'll get some attention. But it gets better.
It's better.
It does get better.
Hang in there, little Timmy.
Hang in there, kid. It'll all be worth it someday. So that's fun. Okay. The story that was sent in to us by, I don't remember if it was Tom or Tony that sent this in to us. Sorry, guys. I'm But boy, if you saw what my week looks like, I'd forget what your effing name is too. You know what I mean?
Think.
I can't. I don't even care what your name is at this point. No offense. A man claims he stole a Boulder fire truck belonged to him because of the Lord. That's what? That's what we're leading off with today, Jess.
God told him to do it?
I can't tell you how many times I've been out on the road and God tells me, see that fire truck over there? Go take that fire truck in my name. And I tell him, God, I have so much stuff on my plate today. I got to go to Target. I got to get blueberries for Spud. I got so much to do. To take a fire truck today, I don't think I can do it.
I know it's a holy quest.
It really is. Well, you got to fill the Holy Grail with something. And a fire hose, why not?
That will do it.
That'll do it, yeah. The incident resulted in at least $25,000 in damages. We go to Boulder, Colorado, where a man is accused of stealing a Boulder fire truck just after he got out of the slammer early on Tuesday morning and told police that the truck belonged to him because of the Lord. Because the Lord has now become Oprah and is giving away free stuff.
And you get a fire truck, and you get a fire truck.
That's right. You all get free utilities from the city. 33-year-old Richmond Johnson was booked into the Boulder County Jail after he allegedly led police on a chase in the stolen $1.7 million electric fire truck.
Whoa. Who knew they were so expensive?
Well, it don't run on diesel. It don't run on gas. It's
electric.
Boogie, oogie, oogie. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's electric. And they went through the streets of Boulder, resulting in at least $25,000 in damages, according to the affidavit. The Boulder Police Department said nobody was seriously injured in the unusual series of events that unfolded quite rapidly. The incident began around 3 a.m. as Johnson was being released from the Boulder County Jail, where he had been held for third-degree trespassing. At the same time, a Boulder fire rescue crew was treating a patient in the jail lobby. After Johnson exited the jail, he allegedly climbed into the parked fire truck and drove off. Yeah, take a little joyride. Questions remained about the circumstances of the theft. It's not known if the engine was left running or was unsecured at the time. Someone at the fire department's going to lose his job.
Somebody's in trouble.
Yeah. It's so uncommon for something like this to happen, said Jamie Barker, who's public information officer for Boulder Fire and Rescue. There are a certain number of things you need to do in order to be able to run that engine. Like turn the key and, press your foot on the pedal and go. It's not that tough to drive a fire engine, folks. It really isn't.
I mean, if God told you to do it, does that mean Jesus is driving? Carrie Underwood said, Jesus, take the wheel.
I'm doing the Eddie Murphy thing right now. You're right. Boulder County Sheriff's deputies and Boulder Police began pursuing the stolen fire truck as the suspect allegedly led the Monto Foothills Parkway and Arapahoe Avenue. I don't know what that means. I think they had a small stroke as they were writing this. Then north on US 287 into Longmont, which I've been through many times. Where stop sticks were deployed. According to the affidavit, Johnson eventually lost control at First Avenue and Main Street in Longmont and abandoned the truck and ran. Longmont is not a big town, so it didn't. No, it's one horse, so it's very easy to catch him. But he didn't get far as police had him in handcuffs just moments after he took off. After he was cuffed, Johnson continued to make unusual claims, telling an arresting officer that he owned the fire engine, according to documents. While on scene, he owns it. Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah, well, while on scene, Johnson made several statements claiming that the fire truck and its contents belonged to him because of the Lord. I wonder if he got it at a car lot that the Lord owned, like the Lord sold him the car,
God's a used car salesman.
Yeah. Lord shows up in a nice cheesy suit from Sears, and it's like, I'm going to put you in a fire truck today. Gives him one of those spiels. The stolen engine, one of only 2 electric fire trucks in Boulder's fleet, was significantly damaged, according to the affidavit. Some residents questioned how quickly people are released from jail, saying incidents like this feel preventable. He did get out quite quickly to steal that fire truck, that's for sure. I've heard many times where people get discharged very quickly, and it's frustrating, said Kendall Laird, a longtime Boulder resident. Police noted that Johnson has an extensive criminal history. He faces additional charges, felony motor theft, which is 2 counts of that, felony vehicular eluding, that's a charge, really, reckless endangerment, and felony criminal mischief or damage to city property. Boulder Fire Rescue said service to the community is affected because reserve engines are available. It is or isn't? Oh, it's unaffected. It's unaffected because reserve engines are available. Reading is fundamental, kids. I'll just have you know that's a thing. So there you go. So unaffected. So
unaffected.
Yeah. So God pretty much was right. He could have the engine.
Yeah, no big whoop.
Yeah, they got reserve engines. So yeah, let the kid have it.
Go for a joyride, brother.
That's right. Have fun. Feel the wind in your hair and the Dalmatian lapping at your neck as you drive along the city of Longmont.
And God be with you, son.
That's right. God be with you, son. Spout a Bible verse or 2 as you're driving along. Let the kids hear it. Our next story has to do with a small-town Virginia mayor who was reportedly arrested for allegedly showing up drunk to a train derailment. You know, if you're going to show up to a personal appearance as a mayor, probably not drunk into a train derailment. Those are the 2 things you probably shouldn't do as mayor.
Your first PR class when you get elected.
Yeah. You know, first thing, smile and wave. Those are the first things they train you as mayor. Second thing, probably you shouldn't be drinking. Paul Morrison was reportedly charged with public intoxication after a Norfolk Southern train spilled non-hazardous soybean oil. Ooh, so if you heat that thing up, right? Heat up the soybean oil, make a little snack on the side of the train.
Fry yourself up some chicken.
Ooh, oh boy, I tell you. You know, if we only had Mrs. Brady with us, we could talk about how good it smelled. Oh, rest in peace, Mrs. Brady. Yeah. I don't know why I went.
Moment of silence.
I don't know why I went in that direction. She wasn't selling what she was selling. It wasn't Wesson oil she was selling, was it? What was she selling?
It might have been Wesson. Yeah, I can't believe you even remembered that because it took me a minute when you said Mrs. Brady. I'm like, why are we going here?
I remember. Was it canola oil she was selling, or was it Wesson oil? Was it Wesson? Was it Wesson?
I think it was Wesson.
Was that canola oil, or was that?
Gosh. I don't know. Was it vegetable oil?
That was vegetable
just general.
Oil. That's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't sunflower. Never mind. I'm stretching now.
Wrong kind of oil.
That's right.
It'd be better if it was peanut oil. That fries better, I think.
Yeah. Plus, you know what? You can get little chipmunks to fry up stuff for you when you're using peanut oil because they're all confused.
Oh gosh, I thought you were frying up your chipmunks.
No,
I'm like,
no,
damn.
No, I'm no weird
cannibal.
No, I'm no weird cannibal. No. You can get them to work as cheap cooks for you when you're using peanut oil.
Little fry cooks. Get them little hats.
Yeah, it's like meth to them. They can't refuse the smell. Yeah. So you get them to make the chicken for you. It's kind of a weird ecosystem thing.
It works.
It does. Yeah, you just put them to work. They're like little zombie cooks then because they're like, peanuts. Who's cooking peanuts? And you're like, you are, kid. Yeah.
Get cracking.
Recently elected mayor of a small town in Virginia was arrested Tuesday after allegedly showing up to a train derailment site while intoxicated. 57-year-old mayor of Rich Creek, Paul Morrison, was taken into custody on a charge of public intoxication, according to the New River Valley Regional Jail. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Morrison apologized for any inconvenience or embarrassment his actions may have caused. To my family, the first responders, the town's employees, the town council, and the residents of Rich Creek, I would like to offer apologies for my state and any actions on April 28th at the railroad incident, he said. I regret any inconvenience as well as any embarrassment that I may have caused, and I'm truly sorry to have let you down and can assure you that nothing like this will ever happen again. By the way, this is I would assume that this mayor shows up drunk everywhere he goes, Jess.
Yeah,
Take a
they
look.
should have known when they elected him. He just looks a little shady.
Doesn't he look like he probably sits at a open barrel fire in the town everywhere he goes?
Making his own moonshine even.
Yeah. He doesn't look like, he looks like a shady character. Yeah. Probably looks like he hangs out near trains quite often. Probably traveling to and fro from places.
Like a hobo.
Like a hobo. He probably has a stick with a little bandana tied to it. The trail
inside the bandana, Tim.
Yeah.
Booze.
And beans. Yeah, because you had
booze and beans.
Booze and beans, because you had to have a little protein to keep you going, right? The train derailment occurred in the afternoon near Rich Creek, which sits near the border of West Virginia and Virginia. The West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection said they got called in on the whole deal, probably because of the soybean oil. The agency added that portions of the incident were reported inside West Virginia and that the train belonged to Norfolk Southern Railway. Contaminants of soybean oil had reportedly leaked. Officials confirmed that it was considered non-hazardous and that the crews are conducting recovery operations. Do you think they put it back in the bottle and then sell it to people?
There's a little gravel in it, a little bit of dirt and grass.
Yeah, just pick it out. You know, it's not hazardous.
It's gonna get hot anyway, right? So really, all the germs will die.
Yeah. So it's all natural. Yeah, you can sell that
organic.
Right. You could sell it in the I almost said the nature stores. What the hell am I thinking? You can sell it in like Whole Foods, right?
Yeah, health food stores. And I feel like you could even charge more for it.
Yes, because it's got all natural ingredients in it. Like dirt and grass and maybe, I don't know, like squirrel fur or something in it.
It's like extra protein. Everyone wants more protein in their everything now.
That's right. So you got it. After the incident, Morrison reportedly showed up intoxicated after Mayor Morrison. He was subsequently arrested in the evening at around 8:19 p.m. Well, at least he waited till after 5 to get drunk. By deputies with the Giles County Sheriff's Office. Details of what led to the incident and Morrison's arrest are not immediately clear. He was taken to the New River Valley Regional Jail and later released on his own recognizance. Morrison is the mayor of a small historic town with a population of roughly 750 people. So he's not only the town mayor, but the town drunk. That's kind of fun. Kind of fun to have one and the same.
You have to wear 2 caps when you come from such a small town.
That's right. He reportedly became mayor in November after a write-in campaign out of 106 votes cast. So only 1/7 of the town voted.
Wow. And they wrote him in. He wasn't even running?
No, he got wrote in.
Weird.
Yeah. Out of 106 votes cast, 77 residents manually wrote in Morrison's name. So
why couldn't that have worked when I voted for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for president?
I don't know.
Come on, everybody work with me.
Right. I'm with you. I would have wrote him in. I didn't know we were doing that. Why didn't you call me?
I thought when I was wearing a shirt every time you saw me for a year, you might have known Dwayne for president. Come on.
Oh,
work with me.
It's that Dwayne we were voting for. My mistake. I thought it was Dwayne from What's Happening, and then that's the one. That's the one I wrote in, and that's a really
be more clear.
That's a really old reference, kid. So yeah, and so there's that.
You're pulling out all the oldies.
Yeah, I am. I really am. See, and that's why I've been alone for 40 years. So, former Mayor Ann Chambers said her resignation. By the way. Did I skip a whole paragraph here? I think I did. His victory, by the way, follows a recent leadership shakeup in the small community where 5 of 6 Rich Creek Town Council members, as well as the previous mayor, appointed in early 2025, abruptly resigned. So basically what happened just is everybody got the hell out of town, and they said, hey, let's get the town drunk in. And we'll vote him in. We'll write him in, and then he can run the town. And let's see if he shows up to a train wreck drunk.
Let's see if he shows up to the train wreck as a literal train wreck.
Yes, you got it. See, you got the assignment. Former Mayor Ann Chambers said her resignation came after internal conflicts in a hostile work environment, reaching a breaking point. So now we know why this guy gets drunk. That's essentially, we've got the entire story now, and now we can move on. You worked fast food as a kid, didn't you?
I did. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken back in the day.
Oh, you had the stress mixer of all fast food jobs.
I had a really cute blue visor.
Yeah.
My husband wrote in my yearbook that he liked my chicken pants when he was a senior in high school.
Wow, that sounds kinky. You liked your chicken pants. Wow.
Oh, everybody has their thing.
I don't know how to take that. That's kind of kinky. Liked your chicken pants. What was it about the chicken pants? Was it all the flour that was on them, or did he specify?
I think it was the butt that was in them.
Ah, yes,
being honest.
that's what it was. Okay, yeah, liked your chicken pants. I'll tell you, there was a girl I was sweet on that worked at Clark's Submarine Sandwich, and I used to. I gained probably about 10 pounds going to go visit her every night because she would give me a free sub, and I wasn't showing up for the free subs. I was just showing up to talk to her. I don't think she ever figured that out.
I bet she knew.
You think
Come
so?
on.
But she
We're
just
smart.
You think she just gave me a free sub just because?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the fun days. I actually loved working there. It was a blast.
Yeah. What was the thing that used to tick you off the most about the customers? That would just get you the angriest.
I mean, I had to go wipe off the tables and stuff, so I hated it when they left it disgusting and didn't. I mean, that's the place where you should throw your stuff away. It's not my job to come out and like clear your table for you,
right?
Unless you're leaving me a tip.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would just leave their trash. So
yeah, that's pretty inconsiderate. One Taco Bell worker had it, Jess. Absolutely had it with one guy who tried to fill up his water cup with soda. Just stealing from the company, right?
Yeah, you said water, bro.
Right. And this guy right here, he's really trying to save the company money. Really trying to save the company money.
He cares. He cares about the bottom line.
I think he's trying to work his way into management. That's what's going on here. All right?
Yeah, or loss prevention.
Exactly. Damari Jaquan Patterson was charged with aggravated assault with a firearm after allegedly firing a gun at 3 Taco Bell customers.
No.
Yeah.
Over water and soda?
After a customer tried to put soda in their water cup.
I think it must not have really been about the soda, Tim. I feel like something else was going on with this young man.
There might have been some issues in his life, Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Taco Bell employee allegedly fired a gun at 3 customers in Florida. That's right. We're going to Florida. Damari Jaquan Patterson, who's all of 20 years old, was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm, according to court documents. He was arrested on Monday, April 27th, after he allegedly shot at 3 customers in a Taco Bell in West Palm Beach, Florida. The alleged incident began when 2 customers entered the restaurant and went to the counter to request a cup for water from Patterson. Once one of the customers was given the cup, she filled it at the soda fountain. Dude, you couldn't even give the lady a break? I mean,
wow.
You're that tight with the soda, bro. Really? Really? Chivalry is dead.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Yeah. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Bananas. According to the probable cause affidavit obtained by People magazine, this allegedly provoked a verbal altercation between Patterson and the 2 customers. As the verbal argument continued, a 3rd customer walked into the restaurant. The argument escalated at that point, and Patterson yelled at the 2 customers, "Do something, do something, do something." Jeez. Over soda. According to a witness's cell phone footage. So this was caught on tape. Another employee came over to Patterson and removed him from the customers. As the employee urged the customers to leave, the sound of the slide of a firearm being racked is clearly audible. So he's telling the customers, why don't you just go? Why don't we just call this a day? You hear clack, clack. Someone took it up a notch.
You do not expect to hear that in the situation.
Right. Patterson then allegedly swung his arm and struck one of the victims, and a single gunshot was fired. The other victim fell to the floor due to the pistol whipping. and the third customer then exited. Third customer got the hell out of there. Yeah.
Lucky third customer.
Yeah. The victim, who was allegedly physically hit by Patterson, exited the restaurant, but Patterson followed. The third customer, who was trying to exit, was then trapped between the door and an exterior restaurant wall. Patterson then approached her when she had no means of escape and fired a shot in her direction. It narrowly missed her and went through the restaurant's window.
Can you imagine if he actually hit her? Like, this is crazy.
Over soda, Jess. Soda.
Dude, get a grip.
Patterson then went back inside. The three customers got into a car and drove themselves to JFK North Medical for treatment. Two of the customers sustained minor injuries. Patterson called authorities and claimed that he believed the customers had weapons, and they rushed him and his coworkers. So in other words, they had weapons and came after him, and he retaliated. He was trying to cite Florida stand your ground.
Right.
So that he would be in it.
Nice try.
Right. He admitted to the officer that he pulled his gun and fired shots in the air. So he wouldn't say that he went after them, but that he just fired his gun to drive them away. After the initial statement, Patterson called his attorney, who advised him not to provide further statements to police. According to the probable cause affidavit, authorities claim that no evidence supports Patterson's defense claims, but rather demonstrates Patterson as an active participant in the verbal argument with the victims. Patterson did intentionally and unlawfully threaten by word and act to do violence to the victims. He also brandished and discharged a gun, which created a well-founded fear to the victims that such violence was imminent. Patterson appeared in court on Tuesday, April 28th, and remains in custody. His next scheduled court date is May 27th, that according to the Florida State Attorney's Office, and they are investigating. Wow. Over soda.
Totally
Soda.
unhinged. Take a sip of that soda there.
I am enjoying it and not being shot at, unless you have a gun. And then I'll switch to water if I have any. I think I have water here too. Do I have water? I may have water.
If you hear me cock the gun, Tim, you better switch to water, sir.
I better switch to water. That's for sure. There's one employee, though, at a different restaurant that's getting over like Rover. We're going to Chick-fil-A, Jess.
Oh, I like me some Chick-fil-A.
A former Chick-fil-A worker is accused of a criminal activity in to the tune of $80,000.
What? What they do?
Mac and cheese fraud, Jess. Mac and cheese fraud. Let me tell you this story. It's quite unusual. We're going to Texas, where a former Chick-fil-A worker in Texas is accused of trying to rake in the cheddar by ringing up 800 orders of mac and cheese and then refunding them to his personal credit cards.
Oh, wow. Sneaky.
Yeah. 23-year-old Keyshawn Johnson allegedly pocketed more than $80,000 in the scheme in November. And it was all caught on surveillance video. Grapevine police say Jones evaded arrest multiple times before finally being apprehended on April 17th with assistance from the Texas Attorney General's Fugitive Task Force and the Fort Worth Police Department. Yes, there was a task force put together for this, Jess.
Can you imagine? That's what you're working on.
Chick-fil-A means business.
You worked your way up to detective for this, Tim.
That's right. That's right. Jones has been charged with property theft, money laundering, and evading arrest. According to police, he's being held in the Tarrant County Jail. Detectives were alerted about the alleged theft on November 29th by the owner of the franchise, who directed them to CCTV video that showed a man using a cash register to order $80,105 of the comfort food. $80,105 worth of macaroni and cheese.
What could you do with that much macaroni and cheese?
You know what they say, Jess? A moment on the lips, about 505 pounds on the hips, with $80,105 worth of macaroni and cheese.
Oh, my.
Yeah. The franchise owner identified the man as Jones and told police his direct deposit had been set up through the Navy Federal Credit Union. So much for the commercials. Before he had been fired in October. there was no indication in the records why Jones had been let go. So they're being sneaky about telling police why he'd been let go. This was a revenge motive, evidently.
I think so. He had it in for him.
Mm-hmm. Why do you suppose he was let go? Now, see, here's the thing. His direct deposit was through Navy Federal Credit Union. So either he or a family member supposedly had been in the service. So why do you think he thought he was done wrong by Chick-fil-A?
I wonder what the backstory is on that.
Yeah. And why did he feel it necessary to do the activity?
Maybe he got fired for doing a TikTok. Didn't they fire a kid for that?
Yeah. It all goes back to TikTok, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. TikTok.
Circled back to like 8 episodes ago.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Everybody gets eventually fired by TikTok. This next story is an incredibly funny one. I'm going to show you a picture of a young lady here, and I'm going to ask you to name the crime.
Well, she's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Was she catfishing someone?
It's a good guess. It's a good guess. It's a good initial guess. I'll leave it there.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll leave it there. This one, boy, you can really swing out of right field when you guess this one. Now, when you're stopped by a cop, you're given ample opportunity to identify yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Some people are honest and forward and let the police officer know who they are. This young lady that I just showed you the picture of, 42-year-old, first of all, can you believe she's 42?
No, she looks wonderful.
Yeah, very well preserved.
Good job, girl.
Yeah, Lisa Nagel is her name. Decided when she was pulled over by police to give police a different name other than her real name, Lisa Nagel. Let me set this up for you, Jess. Question. If you're already facing a charge for resisting, what is the easiest way to have another misdemeanor tacked on? The answer, when the cops ask for your name, respond, Donald Duck. Responding Sunday evening to a report of a disturbance at a Jensen Beach, Florida home. Yes, we're going to Florida again. Police were met at the front door by a resident who was later identified as 42-year-old Lisa Nagel. The woman, cops say, proceeded to slam the door in a deputy's face, which again is not a good move. Don't do that, folks. Don't slam the door in a deputy's face.
Not cool. Be nice.
Yeah. The officer subsequently placed Lisa in handcuffs and continued his investigation. Keep in mind, there's a warrant out. According to an arrest report, it should be noted that Lisa removed one of the handcuffs during this time. So she's Houdini on top of it. When the cop asked the detained woman for her name, she responded with Donald Duck. I wonder if she did the voice too, because that would be fun.
I was going to try, but I can't. That's one I cannot do.
I've never been able to do a Donald Duck voice. It takes talent. Although, again, in high school, in our group, there was a girl who could do the voice and did the voice all the time in our newspaper class, which was entertaining.
Yeah.
Sometimes she only...
newspaper class sounds fun.
It was. It was an amazing class. And her name was Kim. She talked in that voice all the time. Like, there were times she would only address you in that voice.
My throat hurts just hearing you say that.
Well, I think she did it through the upper part of her mouth. So she would force the air through her cheeks, which sounds, I know, like I'm talking about a fart, but she would force the air through her upper cheeks. So she would just sit there and she would color and talk in that voice, and you would just look at her like, what the hell? But it was funny. It was very funny.
Okay, this is goals. I'm going to learn how to do the Donald Duck voice, and I will bring it back to you guys.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
I will workshop it.
Workshop it, yes, if you would.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. See, look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Again, amazing. Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos.
Thank you. Learning new skills just for our friends at Darkness Radio.
Appreciate that. Nagel was arrested for resisting without violence and providing a false name, both misdemeanors. Nagel, who works as a tattoo artist, I wonder how many Donald Duck portraits she's done, was booked into the county jail from which she later was released on how much bond, Jess, for telling the cops that she was Donald Duck and slamming the door in their face?
And where are we at? Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Should be like 500.
Oh, you're close. You
Yeah.
got to go a little bit higher, though. Just a little bit higher.
Under 1,000, right? Like maybe 750?
Oh, you were so close when you said that. You were right on. You were right on.
1,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. $1,000. Duck is scheduled to be arraigned on May 14th. So there you go. Lisa Nagel, we knew ye better when you were Donald Duck. There you go. Now, I got to admit to you, Jess, one of the grossest things I think I've ever seen on film and or just sitting with anybody is when you're sitting down to eat and somebody takes a piece of your stuff off your plate and goes, and then puts it back and goes, now eat it. Right. And they lick it and then put it back on your plate and go, now eat it. And
you don't like that? I thought you liked that. That's why I always did it when we had dinner together. Sorry.
Oh, well, that was kind of a turn on for me. That's why I just let it sit there and I went, yeah, girl. Otherwise, anybody else, I'm just saying. But like they do that all the time on the Bernie Mac show. Like I love the old Bernie Mac show. It's like one of my all-time favorite shows. But the kids always do that to each other. They like, and then they put it down and then they go, now eat it. Right. Evidently, there's a French teen who really loves the Bernie Mac show because he was charged in Singapore for a vending machine straw licking, and it was caught on video. First of all, that's got to be a TikTok thing, right?
Oh, for sure. All the terrible things the kids are doing these days come from TikTok. I'm convinced of it.
I think so. It's the bane of society. It really is. Now, here's a name for you. 18-year-old Didier Gaspard Owen Maximilian. You're welcome.
Whoa.
Yeah. Is accused of posting a video of himself licking a straw from an orange juice vending machine and putting it back. See, that's why I don't get orange juice out of vending machines. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
You can't trust it.
You can't. We go to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where a French teen is facing mischief and public nuisance charges in Singapore after posting a video on social media of himself licking a straw from an orange juice vending machine and then putting it back. 18-year-old Didier Gaspard Owen Maximilian was charged April 24th and hasn't entered a plea. The city-state's largest English language newspaper, The Straits Times, said he allegedly committed the offense at a shopping mall on March 12th, and his video spread rapidly when it surfaced. Oh, of course it did. He's probably got millions of hits, right? I mean,
he's viral now.
He's viral.
Like a disease.
Like a disease. The teen was granted court permission Wednesday to travel to Manila from May 2nd of 2025 for a school trip required for his graduation, according to the Straits Times. He is due back in court on May 29th. Mischief carries a penalty of up to 2 years in prison in Malaysia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're a little serious there.
Really not worth it, kids.
No. It also carries a fine or both, while public nuisance is less severe with up to 3 months in prison or a fine or both. So he could either get the mischief penalty or public nuisance, which would only be 3 months. iJooz, which is IJOOZ, the name of the company operating the juice vending machine, filed a police report and sanitized the dispenser while replacing all 500 straws in the machine. It said it would upgrade its machines to include measures such as individually packaged straws and straw compartments that unlock only after the transaction is completed. Why didn't you have that in the first place?
Right.
Who has straws on the honor system? I mean,
that's just gross.
In this day and age. Lawyers for the teen, who is studying in a French business school in Singapore, declined to comment on the case when contacted. Singapore, a small, densely populated city-state, tightly regulates public behavior and cleanliness. Evidently, they didn't with that machine. This includes restrictions like limits on chewing gum and strong penalties for littering and vandalism. Okay. Well, you missed one. Right? Speaking of kids who aren't getting away with stuff, I think officially the 6-7 thing is over.
Oh, thank God we've lived through it, Tim.
Because some kid got cracked for it. I mean, literally cracked for it.
Whoa.
By a coach. That coach now is being arrested and charged for it.
Yeah, you can't punch a kid. You might want to, but you can't do that.
I think you should be released. No charges.
He makes a GoFundMe page. We'll all contribute.
That's right. I think the judge should dismiss charges with malice on this one. I think what it is the judge has never heard of the phenomena, so he's not upset by it. So he's like, you can't go around hitting kids. Judge, 6'7", 6'7". Now, do you want to punch me? An NFA coach is accused of hitting an athlete over a 6'7" joke. Wait till I tell you the joke, Jess. You'd want to hit the kid too. Just saying. Teacher and head wrestling coach is charged with assault and risk of injury to a child. We go to Norwich, Connecticut. A teacher and head wrestling coach at Norwich Free Academy. I bet it's not free. I bet it costs some money. Was due in court Thursday on assault-related charges that documents revealed stemmed from a 6'7" joke. Stephen Nelson has been on paid administrative leave since the end of December 2025. That's how serious it is.
Oh.
Evidently.
It was still cool back then, right? Like that was months ago.
I know. My God, that was like 4 or 5 months ago. I mean.
That was so last year, Tim.
It was so hot then.
Literally.
Yeah. According to the arrest warrant released on Thursday, Nelson thought the victim was not working hard enough and fooling around while he was on a stationary bike at practice on December 30th. Keep in mind, this is wrestling practice. The victim said in the documents that Nelson instructed him to increase his speed from 30 revolutions per minute to 60 and 70. You ready?
Double it, boy.
Double it from 30 to
6'7".
That's when the student said, Coach, 6'7", 6'7". Nelson then struck the athlete in the face.
That's insane. It's annoying. Yes, I get it. But you can't strike a kid in the face.
Coach said, kid, how many is this?
Damn.
And he said 5. And he said, what's this? He goes 6. He goes, follow my finger. And he went 6'7". Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. That's how you get that joke shut down. That's like a Grandpa Dennis answer right there.
You just knew better.
Yeah, I would know better than to go to my grandfather and do that kind of crap. The kid should have known better. See, there's a the comedian Godfrey.
Yep.
Okay, so he had a whole video recently where he was talking about how we need to start spanking our kids in grocery stores more. I just I'm not saying we should be punching kids for 6'7". I mean, that's ridiculous. But, spanking kids in grocery stores when they act up, why not?
I mean, if we were doing that, maybe they wouldn't be doing all this 6'7" crap.
That's right. Because when you go, they go, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to sit over here and behave and not be annoying.
Yeah. See? Maybe 6'7" wouldn't be a thing if we spanked our kids.
Seen and not heard, Tim. That's what it was in our era.
That's right. People are like, you're just kidding, right? No, I'm not kidding. I'm still trauma bonded to my siblings over certain things.
Yeah, you just try to blend into the furniture so they didn't bring out the belt.
Do you remember when white belts came back? I didn't go back into a store for like 4 months.
You were traumatized by a white belt?
I was traumatized by white belts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the belt of choice, huh?
Yeah. White disco belt right across the old ass.
Oh my goodness.
When white belts came back, I went, no, thank you. I'm not going back in the store.
Yeah. We had a paddle and it had like little holes in it. So when it came at you, you could hear the wind blow through the holes.
Oh.
Whew.
So ping pong is not your sport. And paddleball must annoy you to no end.
Yeah, you're going to find me out there on the tennis court or any of that kind of stuff.
Yep, see? Telling you.
That battle away from me.
That stuff works, kids. It really does. Lisa Zapiri has a son on the NFA wrestling team. She said the allegations against her son's coach are hard to believe. He is mild-mannered. He does not have a hot temper. He is so supportive of the kids. Just keep yelling 6'7" in his face. Watch what happens. Nelson said that he did not mean to actually hit the victim. He was trying to get him to focus. Focus, focus, focus.
He thought he just thought it in his mind. He didn't think he was actually going to do it.
Right, right.
Like as you get older, you lose your inner monologue. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. He described the hit as a tap or a pat. Okay.
I mean, maybe it was. Yeah.
Focus, focus.
I just tapped him with my knuckles ever so gently.
Yeah. It just so happened his nose crumbled. Some other student witnesses mentioned in the warrant corroborated that assessment. I almost said harassment. That assessment. He's a great guy. No, I know the kids miss him, and we can't wait for this misunderstanding to be resolved, added Zapiri. However, other students described the coach's behavior as disturbing as they shook and ticked.
Quivered in fear, Tim.
The warrant said the athlete complained of a headache and neck pain throughout the day after the incident. You know what he didn't say, though, Jess?
6'7".
Exactly. The student described taking a nap, waking up, and throwing up.
So he's saying he has a concussion?
Must have been a good swing.
Wild.
Yeah. The victim's father took him to Bacchus Hospital. Police, the NFA director at Campus Safety in the State Department of Children and Families was notified. Nelson was charged with third-degree assault and one count of risk of injury to a child. Nelson's lawyer said he needed more time to go through evidence. He was due back in court on May 26th. Jess, you know what May 26th is?
The day before. May 27. 26/7.
If you take May 26 would be 7 and 6. It'd be 6, 7 because you'd have 5 and 2 and then 6. It'd be 6, 7. You're gonna piss the guy off. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that. That'll be fun. That'll be fun for the kid. So, yeah, you know.
Oh, that'll teach him. Lesson learned.
That'll teach him, right?
Quit saying that crap.
Yeah, quit saying that crap to the teachers. You know, they're under a lot of pressure. You kids do that to yourselves.
They can only take so much.
That's right. I don't know why you kids do that to yourselves. You know, you might as well just punch your own selves in the head. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's horrible. That's horrible, Jess. It's horrible. I had another story that was sent in, but it was by Raul, I believe, and it was a audio daily double. I don't know if we have time for it or not. I may save it for next week, I think.
Okay.
But it was a cute story about a kid who called police and 911 because there was a monster under his bed. And he gets the cop to actually show up to the door. And the parents are actually asleep inside when he shows up to the door.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
And the cop has to actually, has to walk him through it. It's kind of a cute little thing. I think I'll save it for next week because we're chock full of stories this week. So,
okay.
So I'm not ignoring the story. We do want your story, so send them in. But I think we'll play it next week but it is a cute little thing where the kid, and he's only 5 years old, but he walks the cop to the house.
Well, something to look forward to next week.
Yeah, that's right. So there you go. In the meantime, it's time for Lewd and Crude. It's time for Not Safe for Work. With that, get your kids out of the room. They should probably go look for that monster under the bed. We'll give them a couple of seconds to do that. Maybe your boss should go look for the monster under his bed. It's probably in the form of layoffs and whatnot. We'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Boy, Jess, okay, so during Christmas time, sometimes kids have a good sense of what's creepy and what's right. And sometimes you go to that mall Santa and the kid starts crying. It's time to start listening.
Oh, no. What did a mall Santa do now?
It's a question of discernment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go to Florida, where, let's just say, oh boy. Sometimes when Santa's a little creepy, Santa's definitely creepy. This Santa Claus was arrested in Central Florida in a child sex sting.
Oh, no.
The man's name is Thomas Hicks, and he's 68 years old, and he's being charged with human trafficking.
Santa.
Yes. We go to Polk County, Florida. And I'm going to show you a picture of this guy, Jess. He actually hires himself out as Santa Claus.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he looks just like Santa.
Yeah.
That is so creepy. I knew I didn't trust that guy with all those little elves. I knew he was a pervert. Making toys, he said.
Yeah, making toys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what kind of toys?
Yeah, sex toys, yeah, pervert.
Yeah, yeah, prevert. On Wednesday, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd is back with us, folks.
Oh my gosh. Can we please make a Grady Judd t-shirt? We need it.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah, we'll make a Grady Judd t-shirt. It may even have a quote or two from Grady Judd.
Oh my gosh.
Or a Grady Judd quote t-shirt. We could do that as well.
So good.
Took to the podium to announce the results of a recent undercover sting, including the arrest of a local Santa Claus. In a release, the sheriff's office explained that the week-long sting, dubbed Operation Child Predator 8, focused primarily on catching child predators. He said, "We started on Monday, April 20th, and by Sunday, April 26th, we wrapped it up," Judd said during a news conference. "We arrested 19 people, 16 of which traveled thinking they were going to engage children in illegal sex. We called them child deviants, child predators, and pedophiles." This guy is so proud of
what you call him.
Yeah, that's what we call him. He was so proud of the work he does. I mean, Grady Judd,
he should be. He's a rock star.
Well, I think he likes to think he's a rock star. He does what he does there. In addition, deputies said that 3 suspects sent nude photos to undercover detectives, and 5 suspects were from outside Polk County. Meanwhile, 7 of the suspects are married. 3 are military veterans. Yeah. Let's see here. Got the stories moving a little hinky.
I don't want to see nudies of Santa. Like, that is really disturbing.
Yeah. It's especially come sit on my lap and then and let's see what comes up. That
never again.
Yeah, no, it's not what we're looking for here. 3 of those suspects were military veterans, but one of these suspects was identified as 68-year-old Thomas Hicks. That's our Santa Claus.
Okay. Who
deputies said works in marketing for Tri-County Behavioral Health and plays Santa Claus every year at several different events. So he hires himself out as Santa Claus. Hicks
Ew.
sent social media messages to an undercover detective who was posing as a 13-year-old girl's guardian, the release reads. He told the UC that he would pay $200 to have sex with the girl and was explicit in describing the sex acts he wanted to perform on the child, but said that he would be gentle. Oh, that's nice, Santa. Thank you.
Oh, Santa.
Yeah.
Ew.
Furthermore, detectives said Hicks told them he's been married for over 50 years, but he regularly goes into known prostitution sites looking for prostitutes or companions. Oh, so Santa's a hoe bagger,
Oh, poor Mrs. Claus.
not just a toy bagger.
She's just at home making cookies.
And
He's
Coco.
out there.
Don't forget the
Yes.
Coco. Yes.
Don't forget the cocoa. And he's out there banging hoes.
Yep. Banging hose. Yep. Taking the reindeer
Wow.
out to really bad parts of neighborhoods. Lord knows.
Shady parts of town.
Yeah. I mean, Rudolph's got to light up all different types of town. Red light districts, you know. So he fits in.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. So Grady Judd, our sheriff, said, "We arrested Santa Claus. Now, I want all the children who may be watching this to understand it's not the real Santa Claus, okay?" Oh, Grady. That said, Judd claimed Hicks was well known across Polk County and much of Central Florida as a for-hire Santa Claus. In fact, one of our NGOs that was working with us said, "Oh my goodness, I've already booked him for a party next Christmas," Judd continued. "Nah, that's over with."
Oh, no.
So somebody had booked him for a party, and not like a party, but a Christmas party. Now, Hicks faces charges of human trafficking, traveling to meet a minor, use of a computer to seduce a child, and use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony. Meanwhile, the other suspects arrested in this sting were identified as follows. And I have a bunch of pictures, but I won't show you guys. There's so much skeeviness there that it'll ruin your day. Okay, so we move on. We stay in Florida, where if you thought catching Santa Claus was bad, catching a Brevard County teacher who is trying to show a student how 1 goes into 37 is even skeevier.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
Do you know how 1 goes into 37?
I can't. I don't know. Wow.
The one pupil drops his pants, the 37-year-old teacher gets on the desk. That's how.
Oh, no. I knew it. I knew it was going to be something traumatizing. Oh. I should have just not participated in this game.
It was a horrible joke, Jess. You had to.
It's so bad. I wanted to avoid it, but I didn't know how, Tim.
I had to hit you with a little bit of levity in a horrible story.
Oh, Lord God.
A Brevard County teacher is accused of having a sexual relationship with a student who is formally fired in the process. A school board terminated or approved the termination. This is so horrible I can't read it. School board approved the termination of Kirsten Rose's contract. Brevard County math teacher is accused of having a sexual relationship with a student and has officially lost her job in the process. Weeks after her arrest, the Brevard County School Board voted unanimously on Tuesday to terminate the contract of 37-year-old Kirsten Rose, who's a teacher at Cocoa Beach Junior-Senior High School. What is a junior-senior high school?
I guess you get both of them in one building, right?
Is that like a cousin, uncle? What is a junior-senior?
It's your uncle husband? Is that what it is?
Yes, it's like an uncle husband. What is a junior-senior? I don't know. Only in Florida. According to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, the relationship between Rose and the student began in November through Instagram. Investigators say it did not become sexual until February, which I guess is a lifetime in kid years. I have no idea. The case broke open when the student's parents checked his location and noticed he was at an address they didn't recognize. When confronted, investigators said he told his parents he was at his girlfriend's house and later identified that person as Rose.
What?
Yeah. That's not your girlfriend, kid. That's your teacher. So she's been let go.
Yeah, good choice.
Good choice.
And hopefully arrested and put in prison and their license taken away.
Right.
All the things.
Our next story is a pretty shitty one about a real world cast member.
Oh.
A real world guy starred in Diffagate.
Diffagate?
Diffagate. Here's hoping that Frank Ressler, cast member on MTV's Real World series, treated his swanky Las Vegas crib with more respect than he showed a couple of Pennsylvania residents, says plural. Plural. The 22-year-old was convicted last year of criminal mischief of vandalizing 2 fraternity houses at Bucknell University, where Ressler was a student. According to the amusing criminal complaint, Ressler and his co-defendant, Charles Ryder, broke into 2 frat houses and caused a variety of damage, including broken toilets, a smashed door, and a broken window at the Sigma Alpha Epsilon house. Ressler and Ryder left behind a calling card of sorts, 2 fresh piles of feces.
Ew. No.
Yeah. You know, they have DNA tests for that now, and plus they can check if you have colon cancer, evidently.
Or worms.
Or worms, yeah. I hope they found out. Charged in a 5-count criminal information, Ressler pleaded guilty to criminal mischief, a misdemeanor. He was sentenced last June to 2 years probation, fined $1,000, and ordered to pay Bucknell $1,000 in restitution. It doesn't seem a lot for taking a dump in someone's frat house. And property.
Bad.
I mean, property damage. That's not a lot.
No, it's not. Not enough.
When Real World publicist Allison Bennett was asked if any current cast members had criminal records, Bennett initially said she was unaware of any such legal scrapes. However, after the Smoking Gun provided details of Ressler's rap sheet, Bennett suddenly recalled hearing about the bust, saying it wasn't like he committed any robbery or raped someone. It was a frat prank, and he's not a dangerous person. Ressler's on probation at the time, or was on probation at the time, and spent 4 months living with 6 roommates in the palatial Real World penthouse atop Las Vegas's Palms Hotel. But at least he wasn't busted for, it says here, fuming tricks. It says, I don't know what that's in relation to, but there you go. Yeah. Well, if you thought that was a shitty story, I got another one for you. It seems to be that type of show today.
Is it also a shitty story? We're just back-to-back shit stories?
Back-to-back shit stories. Jess.
Wow. You've outdone yourself, Tim. Really.
I've tried. I'm swinging low today. One of those weeks. An Altamonte Springs woman is arrested after feces vandalism incidents in a Spring Oaks neighborhood. Not all this is hard to say. Not all serial shitters are men. Police say the suspect is linked to at least one case as residents report multiple incidents involving vehicles, yards, and mailboxes. Oh, my.
No. Why? What inspires one to do such a thing?
Believe it or not, it's an anger thing. Did you know that?
I am so mad I'm going to take a dump in someone's mailbox.
Yeah. It's a rage thing. When people serial shit like that, it's an anger thing.
That's just a really strange way for it to come out. I mean, better than, I guess, hitting someone, but beating your dog. I would take someone shitting in my mailbox over them kicking my dog.
It's people think it's like a comedy thing, but it's not. People who serial shit, it's an anger thing. For some people, for a very few, it's an exhibition thing. But it's rarely a comedy thing. It's an anger. It's an anger
It's
thing.
only funny if you do it in a bag and light it on fire and
That's
then
right.
hide in a bush and watch them stomp on it. Then it's
right.
funny.
Then it's funny. Right. But that's the only time it's funny. Otherwise, it's an anger thing. We go to Altamonte Springs, Florida, where a woman is accused of defacing property with human feces in an Altamonte Springs neighborhood, and she's been arrested. Investigators with the Altamonte Springs Police Department said 50-year-old Alexis Weber.
Goodness, girl. Old enough to know better.
You know, they make Depends.
Yeah.
Right?
And also therapy.
And therapy, right. Was taken into custody Tuesday morning on a charge of criminal mischief after being linked to at least one incident in the Spring Oaks neighborhood. Residents say the incidents have been happening for nearly a week, with homeowners discovering what appeared to be human feces on vehicles, mailboxes, and in yards. Yvette Gomez said her family contacted police last Thursday after finding feces smeared along the driver's side of her husband's work van.
Ew. Do you think did she know these people? Like she had a vendetta, or is just like randomly, I'm just mad at the world, so I'm going to put poop everywhere?
Maybe she doesn't feel
That's even weirder.
accepted by the neighborhood. Maybe she thinks that
could be.
Maybe she thinks people are out to get her.
Weird.
My husband texted me that his work van is full of feces, Gomez said. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, there's poop on my van, and I just couldn't believe it. Gomez said she provided investigators with surveillance video that appears to show a person matching Weber's description stopping near the vehicle. She added that she has seen Weber multiple times when she exercises in the neighborhood. And flex and stretch and 1 and 2 and run and shit on my neighbor's van. It's pretty easy. Yeah. When I look back through my cameras, guess what? That is she, Gomez said. Neighbors said the vandalism was not limited to one incident. Some residents reported finding feces near a shared food pantry in the neighborhood over the weekend.
Weird.
I'm going to shit near the food pantry. That's a rage thing.
Yeah, like why are you mad at the food pantry? They're doing good things for people.
It's not the food pantry. It's the fact that that's a neighborhood resource, and she's mad at the neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess so. You've cracked her psychology.
Yep. Crap all over, one resident said. Whoever did this is probably a disgusting person, and I was very shocked. It's not that. She's mad at you guys. Police said a detective witnessed Weber defecating in the front yard of her home early Tuesday before placing her under arrest in connection with the vehicle incident.
Wait, she was pooping in the front yard of her own home?
That's a statement.
So she hates everyone and herself.
That's just her making a statement. That's just her sitting out in the front yard saying that's like a big middle finger to everybody.
That is insane.
Yeah. Spring Oaks Homeowners Association vice president, because she lives in a homeowners association.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So if she sits out on the front lawn and takes a crap in front of everybody.
Yeah. That's probably one of the things on the list that you can't do. No sheds, no red doors, and no poop in your front yard.
Yeah. So, well, not only that, but it's her just saying, I'm shitting on the homeowners association. So,
wow.
Yeah. There's a deep psychology to all of it. Spring Oaks Homeowners Association Vice President John Battle said residents work together to report the incidents and involve law enforcement. If you call and say someone is doing this on your car, it's Florida. You aren't going to believe it, Battle said. No one at the home where police said she was arrested responded when News 6 showed up on Tuesday. Of course they didn't. Cereal what? No. We're good. We have plenty of cereal in the house. Thanks. Thanks for checking, though. We're good. This one may not necessarily... When is a crime, right? There's free speech in America. So I pulled this story just because I think it's funny. And it probably is something I would have done with the morning announcements in high school. Or, remember our good friend Pete, who I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
He would have done this with the morning announcements.
Now I'm kind of excited to hear it.
This is why Pete never got the morning announcements in high school. Guests at a Portsmouth hotel were woken by vulgar threats over an emergency intercom. We go to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, where guests at a downtown Portsmouth hotel were jolted awake early Saturday morning by vulgar language through an emergency intercom system. Police say the incident happened around 4 a.m. at the Hampton Inn on Port Walk Place. According to the hotel staff, a person broke into a locked intercom panel in a separate part of the facility. They then delivered a vulgar message that was heard throughout the hotel and an attached apartment complex. Arrestable or not? Staff says the individual accessed the building through a hallway kept unlocked for police and fire personnel. Then they broke open the panel, which is usually locked. Police say they suspect the person was under the influence at the time. You think at 4 a.m.?
Maybe.
Good
guess.
One anonymous hotel guest was staying at the Hampton Inn for his birthday weekend. He didn't know what was happening when the alert sounded. When I first heard it, I thought it was my cell phone going off or Facebook or something like that, he said. After the initial alert, guests said they heard the message broadcast by the suspect. It was a male voice with very homophobic and threatening language, said Ralph.
No.
Yeah, that's not good. Said Ralph Bacillari, another guest at the hotel. Some visitors, including the birthday guests, said they want more than an apology from the hotel after spending hundreds of dollars on their stay. I don't blame them if you're woken up at 4 a.m. with a homophobic message, right?
I can see that.
Yeah. We're debating whether to stay tonight or not, but they can refund me the whole thing, the guest said. I mean, this is just uncalled for. Hotel staff say the security of neither the hotel nor the apartment building was ever compromised during the incident. Since access is locked, they add increased safety patrols will remain in the area for the foreseeable future. Police say no arrests have been made and there's no ongoing threat to the public. Just a bunch of naughty words.
So they never found the guy. He's just out there running around.
Running around yelling slurs everywhere.
Yep.
So is it a crime or not?
I mean, I would say it's a crime. Yeah. Disturbing the peace, right?
Right. You're disturbing
Lock
the peace.
him up.
Yep. Throw away the key. And finally, before we get to our palate cleanser today, which, by the way, our palate cleanser is winnings for everybody. And what do you do to celebrate?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of a happy palate cleanser today. Our final palate.
It's good when you can't even get the story started.
Our final palate cleanser today has to do not necessarily with the crime, but who is charged.
Okay.
Ma Dong was charged with a rub and tug this week.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Is that his real name? His parents named him that?
Or she. Yes. Ma Dong.
Oh. It's even worse.
They. Ma Dong.
Madong.
2 were charged with reportedly providing sexual services to customers at a Lebanon County spa. The county DA said Kian Sarama and Ji Mai Dong.
Yeah, my dong.
It's the first time a dong gave a rub and tug.
I mean, and it won't be the last, Tim.
That's right. We're arrested after the Lebanon County Human Trafficking Task Force executed a search warrant at MK Spa on Friday. We go to Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, where 2 women were charged with reportedly providing sexual services to customers at a Lebanon County spa. According to court documents, 33-year-old Kian Sarah Ma, who's 33 years old, and Ji Mai Dong, who's 52. It's kind of an old dong to be giving the old rub and tug.
She's still young. As I get closer to 50, 52 doesn't sound that old.
Well, I'm just saying carpal tunnel sets in by that point.
I mean, yeah, if you've been doing it for 30 years, yeah.
Yeah, you can't give as many as you used to.
It's hard work.
It is hard work. It's like churning butter, I mean, when you're young, you could churn butter all day. When you get older, you start out briskly in the morning and towards afternoon, you need a break,
You only got like 2 rub and tugs in you at that point.
Yeah, at that point, you're pretty sick of churning butter. Both of them from Philadelphia were charged with felony promoting prostitution and misdemeanor solicitation to commit prostitution, respectively. I don't know why they put respectively in the story, but they did. According to the Office of Lebanon County District Attorney Pierre Hess-Graf, who I think just came over the boat from Sweden, I have no idea. The Lebanon County Human Trafficking Task Force executed a search warrant at MK Spa on Friday, April 24th. Authorities say they received information regarding prostitution occurring at MK Spa while investigating another illicit massage parlor in January and began investigating it in February. During the investigation, authorities say they determined that Ma and Dong, or Ma Dong, were living in the spa and providing sexual services to customers. You gotta love that Madong lives where it works. The Office of the DA coordinated with Lebanon City Public Safety Code Enforcement. As part of the response, the city agency closed the spa, and the Office of the DA paid to have it boarded shut the same day.
Wow, they're not even joking.
No, they got rid of that thing. Too sweet.
Board it up.
How's my dong going to make a living?
I don't know, Tim. How is your dong going to make a living?
I mean, my dong would get up every day, would look at the sunrise, would have a cup of coffee and go, how many customers are we going to make happy today? You know what I mean? I mean, if my dong can't make, customers happy, what are we going to do?
Well, what's the point?
Right. I mean,
what's the point of living?
What's the point of living if my dong can't get work?
Oh, man.
I don't know, Jess. I don't know,
You can't make it up, Tim.
I just need a moment.
It's real life.
Need a moment of silence for my dong. All right, I think I've run that joke into the ground.
Okay.
All right, it's time for our palate cleanser. We definitely need, after the shitty jokes and jokes about my dong and running you through the mud. Now we just need to focus on happier times, Jess. Just happier times.
I'm ready.
Right?
I'm ready. Bring it.
If you bought a Powerball ticket last week for the last drawing, I think it was on Friday, was the last drawing. I have to look it up here. Boy, I think everybody won.
Really?
And I mean everybody. And when I say everybody, I think I mean everybody. Not just everybody. Like 90 people won Powerball.
Wow. That's amazing.
There were two jackpot winners. I think the jackpot for Powerball, and let me pull up the story here. The jackpot for Powerball was this Friday's? Yeah, no, Wednesday. It was Wednesday. I'm sorry. Wednesday's Powerball drawing last week had 89 winners across the U.S. in the second tier prize, which everybody got $1 million. So $89 million was paid out. Right. Two jackpot winners shared a $143.4 million jackpot. So they each got $72 million.
How did this happen? Was there like some kind of cosmic event that caused everything to line up perfectly for everyone to get money?
You know what's interesting is last week. Okay, so Wednesday of last week. What was the date last week? Wednesday.
Yeah, what planets were aligned? I think there was a full moon last week, right?
Supposedly there was some event. Was last week Tuesday? Okay, so Tuesday of last week was the 28th. On the 28th, there was some big event where like 3 different astrological signs moved out of this period of being trapped for 8 years. They went from being suppressed for 8 years and having the worst 8 years of their lives into into being prosperous, right?
Wow.
It was like Taurus and 2 other signs, right? Went from having like the worst 8 years of their life into being, and I'm trying to remember, it was like some moon was in some sun and whatever. I don't know what all that crap is. Anyways, so I just know because I have a bunch of Tauruses in my life. I don't know why I keep getting trapped with Tauruses, but I do. And I kept getting memes from them. Hey, look, Taurus is finally free. But that was on the 28th. On the 29th, all you Tauruses should have bought Powerball tickets because you all won, evidently.
That's crazy.
There were 89 winners across the U.S. that raked in $1 million. The April 29th draw produced the results. Here were the numbers, by the way. 3, 19, 35, 51, and 67. The red Powerball number was 15. The Power Play number was 2. What makes those numbers so popular? One might take a look at the Power Play slip for an answer. It has to do with the layout of the numbers on a play slip. So if you look at a play slip for Powerball, in Indiana, the state that boasts the highest number of second-tier prize winners at 19, there were 19 winners in Indiana alone, Jess. And one of the jackpot winners, the Hoosier Lottery Power Play slip lines, every white ball number next to one another in a vertical column is those numbers. So if you just would have went down the line and would have filled in those numbers,
oh my gosh,
you had $1 million.
Huh, that's amazing. Good for these people.
Yeah.
What a wonderful thing to have happen.
Isn't that something? The same goes for New Jersey, by the way, which recorded 18 second-tier prize winners. So if you're in Indiana and New Jersey and you just went down the line and you just went 3, 19, 35, 51, 67, and 15, and you just colored in those lines on a play slip, you won $1 million. Isn't that something?
That's amazing. That's really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
It makes me happy so many people had like the best day of their lives last week.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just, boom, $1 million. And for 2 people, $72 million.
What do you even do with that?
I got plans, kid. Let me tell you. I hit that money. I got plans. I mean, and plans for the show. I got plans for everything. Trust me, I got plans. There was even one here in Minnesota. There was one winner here in Minnesota.
Cool.
But here's how it broke down. 89 lucky players matched the first 5 numbers for a $1 million prize. 2 from Arkansas, 1 from Arizona, 1 from California, 1 from Georgia, 4 from Illinois, 19 from Indiana, 6 from Kansas, 1 from Kentucky, 11 from Louisiana, 1 from Michigan, 1 from Minnesota, 1 from Missouri, 1 from Mississippi, 2 from Nebraska, 18 from New Jersey, 4 from Oregon, 7 from Pennsylvania, 1 from Rhode Island, 1 from South Carolina, 6 from Wisconsin.
They were all over.
Yeah. And then the lottery office folded up and said, we ain't giving out any more money. We're done. We're done.
They bankrupted us.
Y'all can go home. Out of all the second prize tickets, 27 tickets sold in Arizona, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Wisconsin were purchased with the Power Play option, doubling their prizes to $2 million. So when you play the Power Play, you get double your money.
The luckiest day ever.
Look at that. Which is good because they take half of it in taxes. So
yeah, that's true.
You ended up getting $1 million instead of your $2 million. So with that, Jess, those 89 people are sitting there, money in their pocket, feeling good. How do you celebrate?
Champagne.
That's a good way.
Buy myself a pontoon and a house on the lake.
That's a good way too.
Yeah.
I was thinking dessert.
Okay.
I
like dessert.
Life is sweet. Might as well make it a little bit sweeter. And they're making the world's longest tiramisu in London.
Ooh, I love tiramisu.
Yeah, right? I'm telling you. A team of 100 Italian chefs gathered in London to cook and assemble a record-breaking tiramisu, which measured, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
1,445 feet long.
What?
How long would it take you to eat that?
Oh, At least a couple hours, Tim.
Right? Yeah, I give it 2.5 hours.
You start at one end, I'll start at the other, and we'll just meet in the middle.
That's right. We'll Lady in the Tramp that bitch. I'm telling you. We'll have it done in about 2.5 hours. Again, Guinness World Record adjudicator was on site at Chelsea Town Hall to confirm the massive dessert broke the record previously set by an 897-foot-long tiramisu, which was made in Milan, Italy in 2019. With technology the way it is right now, I think we can do 2,000 feet here, Jess. And I think they could do it here in Minnesota, and I think they could feed it to us.
I think someone should do that. I'm going to tell my daughter. She's in food science. She's in a club. That should be their club project.
Yep, I think they should.
Her capstone project for college should be making us that.
That's right. I think they should shoot for that. I think they should do it this year. Yeah.
I agree.
Mirko Ricci, who organized the London attempt, previously held the record in 2017 before it was broken in 2019. Mirko, you got some work to do. The finished dessert contained about 2.2 tons of mascarpone cheese, 50,000 ladyfinger cookies, and more than 3,000 eggs, and a bunch of sad chickens.
Holy. And then did people eat it? I mean, don't waste it.
Oh, I bet it wasn't wasted. I bet you they fed it.
I hope they ate it.
Yeah, I bet you they fed it to the townspeople. Yeah. I mean, you can't waste that. You just can't. Once you make it, you gotta feed it to people. Yeah. So, but that's how we sweetly end today's show. Oh, by the way, Jess, here's what
I love those endings.
Here's what that looks like. By the way, take a look at that, my friend.
Oh, I did wonder.
Wow.
Oh, wow, yummy.
Can you just imagine getting up on a diving board and just jumping into that thing?
Yeah, I'd cannonball right into it, butt first.
I was thinking maybe mouth first, but you're like butt first. And
I'm going butt first, and I'm just going to be just sucked into it.
Yeah. You're doing the quicksand thing. You're like,
yeah, I don't know why butt first, Tim, but
hey, why not? Everyone's got their preferences. Sure.
I mean, I eat with my butt. What can I say?
Are you putting on the chicken pants before you do that? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
I got to bring it. Yeah. I got to bring it around full circle. At that point, your husband's had a wet dream because you put on the chicken pants and jumped into tiramisu. He doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know whether to shit or go blind.
Yeah. He doesn't know if he's excited or scared. Probably both. That's probably how he feels about me about 99% of the time. I don't know whether to be excited or terrified right now.
That's my girl.
Yeah. Poor guy. So normal, too.
You know, there's people in Taiwan that pay good money for that, and he's just sitting there just on the sideline.
That's right.
Oh, well. All right. What you got going on in your world?
Oh, gosh, just working on some new books. I actually have been working on an online class that I'm so close to being able to share with everyone. I'm super excited about that.
Right on. Well, we must know more when you've got it finished.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. We look forward to it. All right. I teased earlier in the program about tomorrow's show. So I said, Mally had to call in this week. I'm about to text Travis. Boom, up on my phone pops our guest host for tomorrow. And I said she was hell-bent to be on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow our guest host is Jessie Doyle.
Yay!
Who said, "Hey, if you ever want to give it a shot, let's do some supernatural news." And I said, "Are you kidding me? Let's give it a shot."
That's right. Serendipity came knocking.
That's right. So tomorrow on the big show, Jessie Doyle.
That's going to be so fun.
That's right. The Queen of Cryptid Catching.
That's right. And if you guys aren't watching the YouTube channel and watching this on the channel, why not?
Probably.
Tim has brought in all these hotties this week.
I know, right? I mean, you're getting your money's worth. And it's free videos, so really you're getting your money's worth.
That's right. Get over there and subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. So there you go. And then a small clue for Thursday. Thursday, let me see, how can I phrase this? I'm trying to think how I can phrase this. Oh, I know. I know how I can phrase this. Thursday, supernatural stories, short stories of ghosts, mysteries, and suspense.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Yeah. So that's where we're going with the week, folks. That's what's on tap this week. So
What a great week.
yeah. Life is good. Life is good. So
Yes,
I want to thank Ande Pliego for being on today. Andy's book is a good one as well. So I encourage you to go check out Andy's book. Andy's book is The Library After Dark. And by gosh, we have a link in the description of this program for Andy's book. And boy, that's a good book as well. The Library After Dark. So go get that one as well. So for Jessica Freeberger, I'm Tim Dennis. Again, folks, check out the store, darknessradioshow.com, darknessradioshow.com. Check out the shop. Check out the, if you have not downloaded the Apple app, download the Apple app, do that as well. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Jesse Doyle, Supernatural News. For Jessica Freeberger, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for listening to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday.